Welcome to the Retail Point of Sale class, combining an intuitive, user-friendly retail application with powerful enterprise functionality. My name is Joe Ciacia, and I'm going to take you through the new features and functions available in the Retail Point of Sale module in Release 6.2. One of the nice things about Release 6.2 is that we've completely redesigned the retail screen, the user interface. So as you can see, we've added a lot of graphics to the screen, we've added an item image, and basically we've consolidated what used to be on two separate screens into one retail entry screen. So right from this one screen, users can easily access account information, access item information, enter the items onto the order, and then check out. So I'm going to walk you through all the different features and functions of the retail point of sale application. For those of you not familiar with retail, it was really designed to handle both walk-in accounts as well as on-account wholesale sales. Okay, so it's a really flexible system. It's great for counter sales. It's also very applicable for a normal high volume retailer. So it works really well in either environment. And the whole premise behind it was we were trying to create an application that was really fast and easy for a walk-in customer, but also gave our accounts who had wholesale customers coming into the store the ability to access custom pricing, place an order with them, do delivery, special orders, have them pay their bills online, and have it go onto their accounts receivable account. So it's a really flexible system. It works with a myriad of devices. You can see in this picture, this is an all-in-one unit, kind of where the computer and the touchscreen and the keyboard and the printer are all kind of working together. But it works on any desktop, if you would, that has a browser. It's browser-based, just like the S2K Enterprise system. And you can see on the left-hand side all the different things that it offers. Things like sales rep tracking, price security, customer loyalty tracking, has complete credit card integration with EMV processing. It handles things like deliveries, special orders, pickup items, which is nice. So if you're if you're working with contractors, let's say, and you have a yard outside or a warehouse where you need to have big items picked up in another location, you can actually ring them up at the register and then create a pickup ticket that will be used to go pick up the items in the yard, and then we can use a mobile device to confirm that pickup. Okay, full cash draw reconciliation. It handles things like quotes, returns, layaways, trade-ins, gift cards, store credits. It's a really robust system, and we're probably not going to get a chance to go through everything today in the class, but the retail point of sale has a lot of great capabilities. So let's jump in to retail sales entry and take a look at some of these capabilities. I'm going to do a bunch of different transactions to give you a feel for how the retail module works. Okay, so when you first sign on, it's going to ask you for a supervisor and password. This is for the cash drawer reconciliation. So the first screen that'll pop up once you sign on to retail is going to ask you for entering your starting cash in the drawer. Okay, so the system will keep track of all the different registers and how much cash and checks and credit cards were rung up, so that you can reconcile the drawer at the end of a shift or at the end of the day. Okay, so once you sign on, here's the new retail look and feel. Like I said, we consolidated the screen so that you can get to account information as well as item information, right from one screen. So let's do a quick transaction just to show you how quickly, if someone walked into the store, how quickly you could ring up a transaction. So in the store setup, I have that I want to track the salesperson ID. So the first field it's asking me for is the salesperson ID. If you didn't want to do that, it would use the sign-on information when the person signed on to the register. So it's optional to track a salesperson ID. And it is a nice feature if you have multiple sales reps using the same register. Okay, so I could have swiped the badge there or scanned the badge. That's typically how a lot of people like to use that feature. Or I could enter in my code, and it basically begins the transaction. Okay, so it's going to default to walk-in because I did not select a specific customer. So right here is where I would scan the item. I would scan the UPC code, and you can see that it brings up a picture of the item, adds the item to the order, and if that was it, I would just press checkout. It would take me to the checkout screen, And here's where I can choose cash, credit card, any type of payment options. Let's just do quickly cash. I can enter in the cash amount here. I'm going to enter in $40, and then it'll tell me my change due. And then I basically end the transaction, print, invoice, and close, and it's done. Prints out the a nice receipt. You can use a thermal transfer printer, one of those skinny receipt printers, or you can use a full page printer if you'd like as well. Okay, so that's how quickly and easily you can do a walk-in transaction, right? So the other thing that you can do is add an account or add a retail account or choose a wholesale account. So I'm going to do a search on the account information there, and you're going to see that I'm brought up with a little window to find the customer, and I can find the customer by telephone, by name, by address, by city, state, and zip. So I'm just going to type in Bob there, and you can see one of the names came up. But if this wasn't the account I was looking for, I can just click on Add Retail Account, and now I can build that account right on the fly. All right, so I would be asked for the telephone number, the email address, the name. Address is optional if you want to capture the full address. And then you'll notice on the bottom I can say whether or not this customer is tax exempt. And if they are, I would be prompted for their tax ID. Okay, so this is basically the retail customer setup. You'll see in a second how I handle a wholesale account. So now what's nice about this is that anything I ring up here is going to be captured against Bob Williams, right? So I am now tracking all Bob Williams sales. I can create a loyalty program based on his sales volume or number of units or types of products he buys. You can maybe send out gift cards. So you'll be able to capture all this information and use it in some type of loyalty program. Okay, so I just added some items real quickly there, and let's check out again. And let's pay cash, change due, and that's how I now added that sale to that specific retail customer. All right, so now let's do a wholesale account. So a couple of different ways to access a wholesale account. Using the same search feature, I could have searched for the wholesale account and found them by name, by company name. But very typically, a lot of our customers also will create loyalty cards or have a loyalty number that really is the customer's account number. And I can just enter that in right on the first screen here, quickly and easily. And basically what that does is it accesses the S2K customer profile. And in that customer profile, if anything's mandatory, like customer PO number or anything like that, it's going to prompt the user to enter in a PO number, and it's going to use all the custom pricing that you have set up for that wholesale account. Okay, so let's enter in some items here. One of the things I can do is if the item is serial tracked, the system will automatically prompt you for a serial number. So I scan this item in, and it happens to be a serial tracked item. So you're seeing the system is going to pop up a window and say, okay, you must enter or scan in the serial number. Okay, so a lot of different ways to handle serial numbers in S2K. If you receive them in and actually put them into inventory, then you can do a search here and search for the valid serial numbers. If you didn't put them in, then you can just manually override and enter in the serial number at the point of sale. Okay, so I entered in the serial number, and now I'm done. Okay, I would check out. Now, one of the things you can see is that since this is a wholesale account, the system does do all the credit checking features that it would normally do. So the system is going to check to see if they are over their credit line, or they have a past due balance, or if they're on hold. So there's a lot of different things it'll do there. Okay, so you'll notice that when you do select a wholesale account, on the right-hand side, there is a button that says in-house. Okay, that means that you can now put this on their accounts receivable, on their account receivable balance. Now, because this customer had a credit checking issue, in order for me to approve an in-house charge, I would need a supervisor to say, okay, even though they're over their credit limit, it is okay to put it on their, house account. So it's prompting me here for a supervisor number and password. And once I do that, it's okay. I can say how much of the $103.99 do you want to go on their account? And you can do split payments. You can pay some by credit card and have the rest go on their account. There's a lot of different options here. Okay, so I want to say the whole thing goes on their account, and basically balance due 0, and I'm on my way. Okay. So let's look at a couple of different transactions. Let's look at selling a gift card. So S2K completely tracks the gift cards right from the point of sale, tracks the remaining balance on those cards, and also allows you to use those cards as payment tender on the summary screen. So let's take a look at how gift cards work. So during the entry process, I would have an item number set up in my item master file, and that item would be flagged with an item type called gift card. So when the system sees that item, it'll automatically prompt the user to scan the gift card number. So basically, a lot of users have a display, or maybe they have them behind the register where they have all these gift cards, and they would then, activate the gift card by scanning the gift card number, and then the system's going to prompt you for, what is the value of the gift card. Okay, you can have gift cards with fixed value. That is an option in our system. Most people today are using the option to have the value chosen at the point of sale. So I would just type in the value, let's say $100 here, and now that gift card is active and ready for use. Okay, so when I check out, I can pay for the gift card, again, cash, check, credit card, and my transaction is done. Okay. If the next customer or another customer or the same customer wants to use that gift card, let's see how we use it as tender, right? So on this order, I'm just walk-in came in. I bought an item for $38.99. When I check out, I'm going to choose the gift card on the payment screen, and here's where I would scan the gift card. And here's where it's going to prompt me to say, how much of the amount do you want to use? There's $100 on the card. Do you want to use the full payment against this? I can do partial payments. I'm going to apply the full $40 on the gift card, and the balance due is now 0, and I'm on my way to my next transaction. Okay. On the entry screen, we also have a nice feature where on the first screen, we have a nice feature where you can just scan a gift card. If a customer comes in and says, how much do I have left on this gift card? You can just press gift card, scan the gift card number, and it will tell them, what the running balance is. Okay, so that's another nice feature for gift card processing. Okay, deliveries. Let's do deliveries. I'm going to do a delivery against a wholesale account. So I put in A&M Supply here on my front screen. You can see it's also prompting me for a PO number. All right, so I'm going to order some items, and then at the end, I'm going to say whether or not I want to deliver the item. Okay, what's nice about the retail point of sale module is even if I do not select the account at the time of, at the beginning of the order, I can always enter in the account information at the end of the order. So that's a nice feature in our system where you don't have to cancel the transaction and re-enter it. You can actually just pick up the account information at the end of the transaction. And if it was a wholesale account, the system will reprice the order for you. Okay, so let's go through this. I'm gonna do a search. So in this example, the customer wants the desk here. Just want to show you some capabilities from the search window. So I could select the item here if I was looking for a computer desk for this customer. I could also jump into item inquiry. So I just double click the item and it will take me into item inquiry. And I can see that I have one on hand, but I might want to see if I have this item in any of my other locations as well. So I can just click on that location button, and it will give me a breakdown of all my different locations and how many of these items do I have in each location. Okay, so that's a really nice feature. So especially if it was out of stock, you might want to check other locations to see if that item is available somewhere else. Okay. So let's order this item and put in a delivery. So I'm going to check out now, and you can see that on the end of the screen here, it does the credit checking again. So this customer was also past due. But on this screen, I just want to show you the delivery function. So I'm going to click on the button on the top here that says delivery. Okay. And then basically it's going to bring up that customer's name and address. All right. If I didn't have a customer selected, it would prompt me to actually select the account before I went to the delivery window. I can change the address. So let's say they were delivering it to a job site. I might have that job site already saved in the ship to address. So I can actually access their ship to address folder as well if they were a wholesale account. I can just type over this address if it was if it was a gift for somebody or whatever I wanted to have. And then I can enter in my shipping charges and put in special instructions. Okay. If you had the retail system hooked to one of the shipping applications, like a Varsity Shipper, okay, or an Agile, you could actually have the system go out and automatically calculate the shipping charges for you, okay, based on your UPS rates or your FedEx rates or even LTL carriers. We have systems that we interface to that will allow you to actually get those, real-time shipping charges right here from this screen. Okay, so I just manually entered that shipping charge for our demo, and then when I'm ready to check out, it totals up everything, the charges plus the merchandise, and this is how much is required for this delivery. Now you can set a minimum delivery deposit, meaning that maybe in your type of business you want a down payment for the delivery, and then you want the final payment when it's fully delivered. In my system here, in my demo, I said I want 100% payment up front before I make a delivery. So that's why it's saying delivery deposit. So just in case you didn't get, you didn't require the full balance at the time of delivery. Okay, so I'm going to just pay this in full and I'm done. I'm going to print out my confirmation. So basically with the delivery, it will print out basically a pick ticket. It's pretty much an order in S2K, and it will print out a pick ticket at the time of delivery based on their delivery date to pick and ship that item. Okay. All right, let's take a look at returns. So returns can be accessed one of two ways. You can access returns right away when you begin the transaction, as you see here, or you can actually process a return with a sale. That's optional, where you want to combine both sales and returns on the same transaction, almost like an exchange, and the customer would pay the difference. Okay. So in this example, I just basically started off the transaction by hitting the returns button, and now it's prompting me for a reason code and to scan the receipt. Okay, so the first thing is a reason code, and these are codes that you can set up. All right, just a table that you can create your own reason codes. And then I scan the ticket number. All right, that would be the receipt, the barcode that we print on the receipt. What the system is going to do is it's automatically going to bring up the items that were on that receipt. Okay, and you're going to see here that now I can just validate that whatever they're returning was on that receipt. So on the top where the box is yellow, I would just scan the item, okay, and say they want to return this. And if you watch on the bottom here, what it's going to do is it's going to, as soon as I scan that item, it's going to move it into previously returned. So the system is keeping track of what items have been returned off of the receipt, so that you really can stop customers from returning items on a same receipt. Maybe they paid a high price on one receipt and a low price, and they try to return it on the high price to get credit for for the item. So our system will only allow the customer to return the item based on the quantity they sold that was sold against that receipt, and we keep track of that. Okay. All right, so that's what the item, it carries it right back to the order. I check out, and you can see it's a return, it's a negative processing, the refund amount that's due back to the customer. And based on your store setup, you can say how much cash is allowed to be pulled out of the drawer, or over a certain amount, maybe you have to cut an accounts payable check. Can it be put back on the credit card? Things like that is all done in the store setup. So in this case, I think I'm just going to give them cash back, or I didn't really take the screenshots, but I do cash back and I closed it out. Okay, let's look at trade-ins. All right, trade-ins is another feature in S2K that's really nice. So with trade-ins, you can just hit the trade-in button. This is an option in the store setup that you accept trade-ins. And basically what happens with trade-ins is that when you click that button, it's going to prompt for a supervisor, user ID and password. A supervisor has to approve the trade-in, all right? And here is where you would enter in the item information for the trade-in, right? So what are they trading in? And we have some features in our system that says you only trade in, allow trade-ins against with items you sell already, or it could be any item. So, we have customers that sell equipment, and it might be, bring in your old lawnmower and I'll sell you a new lawnmower, or bring in your old tires and we'll sell you new tires. Okay, so these are some of the things that you can do with the trade-in option. So you fill out the screen. So in this case, I'm going to say they're returning their printer, and whatever the value is that you enter in here, is going to be the value of the item, because we do add this item to inventory. So you're going to see as soon as I hit enter, okay, the system assigned it an internal item number, is what we call a Z number. And that item now is going to be in the item master file with a value or a cost, if you would, of $20 that you can now sell. Okay, so you can actually, sell used equipment if you'd like. Okay, so now I can add something else to the order. So if I want to do a sale with a trade-in, those are options. There are a lot of features in the store setup that says the trade-in can't exceed the sale. So you can set up those parameters in the store level. All right, so I'm going to sell them a new printer, and you're going to see on the summary screen, it just basically prompts the user for the difference between the sale item and the trade-in value. Okay, so those are trade-ins. All right, last thing I want to cover is special orders. How do you handle special orders? That is a store setup feature. Whereas, let's say I'm trying to order an item and it happens to be out of stock, I will be prompted to ask the customer if they would like it special ordered, and I can take a deposit on that. So let's go through that. So I'm going to be starting off on the header screen here, and I'm going to search for an item. So I'm going to, let's say the customer is looking for some type of chair. And you can see here they're wanting the wood and leather chair, but it's out of stock. You can see the quantity available right now is 0. So if I hit enter on this, say yes, the customer wants this, the system is going to pop up a screen and say, one of, really 4 different things. Accept the out of stock means, special order it. Let's say for some reason the customer brought that product up to the, counter. So I can override the out of stock and say that the customer has the product, and it will force the sale through and really result in a negative inventory quantity that I have to reconcile with a cycle count. Okay. Check other locations is an option. So I don't have it here, but before I special order it, would you like to check other locations? And then the last option is to check for substitutes. Do you have an item that you could possibly substitute a like item for this product? Okay, so let's click on check other locations. So you can see I only had this item in one location, but this is a nice option where it would show me all of my other locations where I might have this item. And one of the nice things on this screen is you can see the transfer button. Okay, so I have a couple different options here. I can actually sell it from that location on this order. Okay, and the system will print out either whatever you want to call it, maybe a pickup ticket for the customer to go pick it up at that location. Okay, or I can request a transfer to say I will have that store transferred over to here, and then you can take a deposit on it, and the customer can pick it up when it arrives. And then obviously the substitute button's also here. I don't think I had anything substituted for this, so I can also look to see if there's any substitutes. I didn't have any. But for this demo, let's just hit enter and accept the out of stock. All right, so you're going to see on the line item, it dropped it into the second, field here for back order, and now this item is going to be special ordered. Okay, so when I go to my summary screen, again, we have a flag in the store setup that says, how much of a deposit do you want to take for a special order? All right, so maybe you want 10%, 20%, 50%. Okay, that's up to you. You set that in the store setup. In this case, in this demo, I wanted 100% payment on the special order. All right, so basically it's prompting the user to say, based on my deposit percentage that I would like, how much are you going to pay at this time? All right, so in this case, I would type in the full $40.55, and then I would be good to go. So you can always take more. But the deposit percentage is the minimum deposit, right? So I want at least 25. If he wants to pay 50, he can. If he wants to pay 100%, he can. But there's a minimum deposit amount that you set in the store master file. Okay, so now I just, I can, cash check or credit card this order, and I'm basically done. Okay, let's just review some of the inquiries and reports. On the retail point of sale menu in the inquiry button, you can see there's a lot of different inquiries. You can jump out into things like item inquiry, customer price inquiry, store credit inquiry, gift card inquiry. So I can do a lot of different things. Just want to show you one of the inquiries here, which is detailed sales. where you can just basically see every single transaction that's happening from the retail system. Okay, so these are all my retail orders, and you can see I have some walk-ins, some I am also putting to retail accounts, some I'm doing to wholesale accounts, and I can drill in and look at every single transaction here. I can look at profitability, I can look at how it was paid, everything I want to see. I can drill in off of the detailed sales inquiry. Okay. We also have a lot of nice reports that are available in the retail point of sale module. Things like gift card activity report, cash drawer closeout report, canceled order reports, layaway reports, payment analysis, trade-in report, daily returns report. Okay, a lot of different things. This is one report that I happen to like. It's called a retail sales activity report. And basically it's a staffing report that basically says how busy you were. In this case, in 30-minute increments. I'm going to do it in 30-minute increments, increments throughout the day here. So if I run this report, I'm going to move it out to Excel here. And basically, it'll show you from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. hypothetically, here's the amount of transactions, number of transactions, and the dollar amounts that you rang up during the day. So you can see that, as an example, Thursday later in the day, I'm more busy than, the mornings, right? So you can get a weekly total and see how many transactions you rang up for the week. But really, a lot of people use this for, staffing. How many, registers do I need at certain points in time during the day? It's a nice activity report. Okay. So that's all I had for you for the retail point of sale class. If you have any specific questions on retail, please make sure to go to the Ask the Experts class that will be at 4 o'clock. And you want to go to the class for customer service, and you can get any of your questions answered about the retail module. Thank you.